Are we ready to geek out on this Tuesday evening? It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. It is the Mahoning and Shenango Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. If you're watching this from outside of my television viewing area, I'm a TV meteorologist in Youngstown, Ohio. Northeast Ohio and Western PA is where we focus in these videos, but we talk about other stuff as well, nationwide weather stories, astronomy, tropical weather, things like that. We'll talk about a few of those things in this video, but first, notably today, our second 90-degree temperature of the summer season. Now, we average about 8 in a given summer, so we're behind schedule. It hasn't been a particularly hot summer despite this hot stretch in September, but yeah, only 2 90-degree temperatures will probably make it 3, and that'll be it for the summer. I think our third will come tomorrow, and that should be it for the entire season. But yeah, temperatures have ramped up over the last several days. Very comfortable start to the Canfield Fair late last week, but 89 yesterday and 90 degrees today. Been cool watching this time-lapse today from our new Canfield Fair camera. It's teardown day at the fairgrounds. Interesting watching how things are disappearing before our eyes. Rides and tents and exhibits and things like that. And this will probably look even a lot more different by this time tomorrow. Our weather, though, is quiet aside from the heat. We've got a pair of severe thunderstorm watches across the middle of the country this evening. One across parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and extreme western parts of the UP of Michigan. The other across the Ozarks and heading down into parts of Oklahoma. These severe weather risks are lining up along a cold front out here. This is the front that very slowly is going to come east over the next couple of days and will provide the pattern change for us for the tail end of the week. Let's talk about the tropics. This, as of the 5 p.m. advisory, became Tropical Storm Lee. Now, this is in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. This is a long, long way from any land masses, but conditions will be very favorable in the next couple of days, handful of days, really, for this to rapidly intensify into a hurricane and probably a major hurricane, perhaps even a Category 4 by the end of the week and the start of the weekend. Now, to get your bearings over here, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, some of the Caribbean islands, this is probably going to head north of a lot of those major islands. Will it have any impact on the U.S.? We can't discount that possibility right now. But right now, the long-range odds, a week to 10 days from now, favor this kind of recurving eventually. But it may be kind of a close shave if some of the westernmost ideas on some of the modeling work out. It may be kind of close shave for some of the far eastern parts of the U.S., including the Outer Banks of North Carolina, maybe parts of New England, but that's speculation at this point. That'd be maybe 9-10 days from right now. Over the next week, this will be mostly over the open ocean, and conditions will be ripe for rapid strengthening of Lee. Back here at home, one more hot day for tomorrow, and with the midday update today, the Storm Prediction Center, SPC, did expand the low-end risk, level 1 risk for severe weather tomorrow. For us, this will be late in the day, but basically all of Ohio and western PA now under that risk level 1 out of our 1 to 5 scale. The reason for this, we have our cold front heading our way, and we have just enough ingredients, especially instability, of course, with it being so hot and muggy, that any thunderstorm that does manage to rumble through late in the day on Wednesday, maybe close to sunset, will have the possibility of maybe a localized microburst, gust of wind. We're not real concerned about big hail. This is not a tornado setup, but very low-end chance of wind damage if we get a couple of feisty storms. And again, the main window with this, right around sunset, give or take an hour or so on either side of sunset. Until then, yeah, heat. The record high tomorrow is 93. Don't think we'll break it, but we may, approach it. I don't think we even tie it, but 90 or 91 should about do it tomorrow afternoon. The clouds roll in and thicken up in the afternoon. Our in-house model here is not real ambitious with this idea of a late day shower or storm. In fact, it has a couple of scattered cells mid-afternoon. This doesn't have the support of a lot of our other modeling. A lot of the other modeling is more interested in the idea that maybe around sunset we see a passing shower or a feisty storm. That chance of a shower or storm will continue overnight into Thursday. No kind of washout Thursday, but there's going to be a shower here and there, an outside chance of thunder. Same idea for Friday. Our front by Friday is well off to the east, but what we will have going on is a trough of low pressure, which will be kind of parking over the Great Lakes region for Friday and the weekend. That's this dip in the jet stream right in here. This will provide enough instability in the atmosphere that we're going to allow for the possibility of a shower or storm Friday afternoon, probably Saturday afternoon into Sunday afternoon as well. Even though, again, I think there's going to be plenty of dry time. This general pattern, though, will continue into much of next week, where it just doesn't look very warm, as the center of the warmth, or the warm air mass, I should say, stays well to our south and west. So, as of right now, we're going to keep the rain chances for the weekend on the lower side. For high school football Friday evening, not going to be able to rule out a shower. Doubt there's any thunder and lightning. Even the chance of a shower seems pretty low at this point for Friday evening. Best chance of getting wet over the weekend, probably in the afternoon hours, both Saturday and Sunday, but even that, at this point, will be a low-end chance. All right, if you're not a fan of the heat, here's your pattern. Longer range, 8 to 14-day outlook, 13th through the 19th of September. This looks like a pattern that will favor a cooler-than-average temperature regime. It is the 5th of September. The 5th of every month, we get a fresh suite of modeling from the European Center, and this is the long range, the seasonal guidance. So we can look at the winter season on this guidance, and while this, of course, is not going to be the right answer, winter is not going to go exactly as this map shows, we start paying more attention to the seasonal outlooks on the modeling once we get into this time of the year. We just entered meteorological fall, so we're not going to speculate too much on the winter season. Don't forget, our annual winter forecast will not come out until almost 2 months from now. Very late October or the first week of November is when we do our annual winter forecast. We're hoping to do better as far as accuracy is concerned than last year. Everybody's winter forecast busted last year. Ours was no exception. We're hoping that we do a little bit better this year. We have El Nino this year, and the overall ideas shown on the European seasonal outlook, pretty classic El Nino look to things. Now, these longer range suites of modeling have a hard time seeing cooler than average temperatures once you get beyond month 1 or 2. So you don't see any blue on this map across the lower 48, but you can, a trained eye can interpolate that maybe there would be some blue down here if the model could see it this far out. This particular suite of modeling just has a hard time depicting colder than average temperatures once you get out into the medium and longer range. So you can see the warmth of the warm anomalies across Canada. You can perhaps envision some cool anomalies in the south, and this is a pretty typical setup in an El Nino season as far as precipitation is concerned. The model does not have as hard of a time picking out anomalies when it comes to precipitation in the medium and longer range. So again, this is the December, January, and February outlook, showing below average precipitation Pacific Northwest, parts of the Ohio Valley, maybe parts of the Great Lakes, and above average precipitation for the East Coast and into the Southeast, maybe into the Southwest as well. And again, this is pretty boilerplate El Nino. We're going to have a lot to look at other than just the El Nino phase as we go into the winter season and start putting together our thoughts on the forecast. How strong will El Nino be? Some of the other factors going on globally in terms of what's going on in the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, other things. We're going to look at a lot of stuff before we come up with our winter forecast. But of course, El Nino is one of the major things that will go into not only my winter forecast, but a lot of winter forecasts that you may stumble across on air and online in the next couple of months. In the meantime, thank you for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll do an update on those rain chances for late this week and the weekend back here on Wednesday.